Aidan, first and foremost, welcome to Yeovil. It's the first time we've managed to have a chat since you got to the club. You've obviously had a couple of weeks to get your feet under the table. How have you found it so far?
Yeah, it's been brilliant. Just bedding in, and obviously you hit the ground running with the games coming thick and fast. So to be straight in is obviously a good thing because you want to always play games. So it's been really good.
Let's talk about how you came to be at the club. When did you first start to realise there was interest from Yeovil, and what were your thoughts when that started to materialise?
It was towards the end of the transfer window, and my agent gave me a call and said that obviously the gaffer had give him a ring and let him express his interest in bringing me to the club. And once we'd had a conversation, it was something that I wanted to get sorted. My family. I moved my family down south last year, so obviously being back closer to home was always a priority.
Yeah, what is it that Mark said to you in particular that made you think actually I could do something special here at Yeovil?
It was just I always remember this club being in League Two, and obviously I've played with players that were at the club before when they got to the Championship, and they'd already spoke highly of the club. So it wasn't more what the gaffer was telling me. It was the club size really, and I wanted to be a part of that journey. Taking the club back into the Football League.
Your opening couple of weeks, obviously, you're getting to know a brand new defence, brand new squad. How have you found that trying to work with that defence? Because obviously it's got a few injuries at the moment, so you're potentially having to work with several different back lines. But how have you found it so far?
Yeah, it's been good. I think it's always hard. Coming into any team, midway through a season, but the boys have been brilliant with me, and off the pitch, in the training ground. Me and Jake Wannell share a car school together, so it's been great to form a relationship there, and we're just constantly chatting about the club, about different formations, and just everything to do with football really.
Who's in charge of the music in the car?
It depends on whose drive it is.
Is Jake's taste in music any good or not?
Yeah, it's good. It's good. We'll often just have a song on and often catch each other singing at some point or something like that. It's quite funny.
You obviously joined the club at a difficult time form-wise. How much of a relief was it for you to get that win on Tuesday night?
I think it's always important to get a win. Doesn't matter whether you're on a good winning form or whether you're on the run of form that the club was on before I joined. I think it's just, can we build on that now? Can we take that momentum into the remaining, I think it's 15 games left, and finish the season strong? Anything can happen in football, so if we continue to use the momentum and the togetherness that we showed on Tuesday night, see where it takes us.
I was going to ask you, what in particular impressed you about the squad on Tuesday night, coming from behind for that win?
I think it was just, we knew what was coming in the second half, and at half time we spoke about getting forward more, getting shots off, and we knew that eventually there was going to be balls coming on top of us, and it's how we deal with that. Previous games we hadn't dealt with it as good, but I thought the other night was top class, and we need to show that every single game now. That's got to be a sort of a benchmark for us really in terms of defending our box, and we've shown that we can do it. For 45 minutes at least the other night, so it's got to be 90 minutes every week now.
Maidenhead away this weekend. The league table would tell you that it's a game that Yeovil should win, but actually form-wise, Maidenhead have been playing really well recently. What do you know about them as a club? I
played against them obviously when I was at Boston earlier on in the season, and they're a club that obviously seem to be in and around there every season, but somehow managed to find good form to get themselves out of it. So they beat Oldham away. It's not an easy place to go to Oldham, so it'll be a tough game for us, I think. But if we show what we showed in the second 45 the other night, I think it's only going to lead to a positive result for us.
And from your perspective, obviously now you've played under the lights at Hewish Park and stuff. What have you made of the atmosphere here at Yeovil?
It's brilliant, obviously when we come out and I run to the Thatcher's end, either for the first half or the second half, like against Wealdstone, it's an atmosphere that can grow and it can get bigger and bigger, but that can only get bigger down to our performances. And I'd like to think that if we keep putting in performances like we did on Tuesday, then the support will get even better than what it already is.
Yeah, what I was going to ask you, what would you like to see the club achieve between now and the end of the season? What do you think it's realistically capable of doing before the end of the season?
I think for us, if the club got promoted obviously last year, and you would have snatched your hand off for a mid-table finish. But I think we don't want to settle for mid-table. We're better than that. There's a great group of players there with a lot of ability. So, like I said before, I think it's just using the momentum that we built on Tuesday. And when I was at Port Vale, we were, I think, 12th, and we ended up going on an amazing run and getting promoted. So you don't know what can happen in football. I'd like to think that we can try and get, if not in the playoffs, in and around, just outside, then that'll be an outstanding season for the club. But ideally, I want to try and push us into the playoffs.
Well, good luck for this weekend.
Cheers, thank you.
Give your budding young Glover a day to remember with our Yeovil Town mascot package. Walk out on the pitch with the players for a warm-up, meet the manager, get a junior match ticket as well as a programme, signed match ball, plus a drink and a snack, all for just £99. See ytfc.net for details.